Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm going to be your helper today. How are you doing today?
Oh, not so great.
Could you tell me some more about that?
Well, I don't know. I just moved and I didn't want to, and I'm having a lot of trouble dealing with that.
Where'd you move from?
I was living by myself in my home where I raised my kids with my husband, and we've always had that house since we had our kids, and my kids made me move to an assisted living, and I didn't want to go.
Can you tell me some more about the feelings you had when they made you move?
I was definitely really mad because, I'm their mom. Why do they get to tell me what to do? I raised them, and I didn't take away their independence. And I'm sad because, we had to put our house on the market, and, it's not our house anymore. And there's so many memories. Just,
What kind of feelings does this bring up?
I don't know.
Can you tell me more about what brings you in today?
Well, I was referred by the caregivers at the assisted living because they noticed that I wasn't adjusting very well, and they thought maybe if I went and talked to somebody, then I would feel better.
What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know, because I don't think anyone outside of my age group could really understand the situation, to have your kids. And I just feel like unless, you're taken from your home and put into a place you don't want to go, I mean, not you specifically, just anyone, I would have trouble talking to about this because, unless you're in that position, you wouldn't understand.
Could you tell me more about the relationship with your kids?
So I have a daughter and a son, and at first I felt like they kind of colluded against me because they decided on their own that they were going to take me to look at this assisted living community. And they didn't even bother to ask if I even wanted to consider it. And, prior to that, we'd always had good relationships. I mean, mothers and their children would fight, and my husband recently died, and I think they kind of took it upon themselves to find a place for me to go now that he's gone, and so I won't be lonely, but I don't think they understand.
What makes you think that?
Well, they never asked me. It was kind of, hey Mom, we're gonna go look at this place, and oh, do you like it? Okay, we're gonna move in. And they just said, okay Mom, I think this is a good place for you, and look at all of the fun activities they do, like bingo, as if I'm some old lady who likes bingo. It's like they didn't even, I don't like bingo. And I feel like that's just, a stereotype. Old ladies love their bingo, and sure, maybe it's a nice place for some people, but I just felt like they didn't even bother to ask me, It was just, Mom, this is going to be great. Look at all of the friends you can make here, and I don't know these people.
Does it make you uncomfortable being in a new place with people you don't know?
Yeah.
What kind of feelings come from this?
Well, I've been there for about a month now, and I thought that I had made some friends, and I went to sit with them at lunch one day, and they told me they were saving the seat for somebody, and I have really bad eyesight, and it's really hard for me and I have really bad eyesight, so I have a tough time finding my way around finding places to sit in the dining room. And so I had finally maneuvered my way around and found my friends, and no, we're saving the seat, and it really hurt my feelings, and and so I had to find another place to sit, and I ended up by myself, and and it made me really sad, and I thought that I had made friends, and I guess not.
Why do you think your children would let you live with them versus the nursing home?
Well, I think they have their own children to deal with, and I have bad eyesight, so they have to kind of help me out a lot, like taking me to the store and guiding me through the store and everything. And I'm on some medication for some stuff, and I'm guessing it would just be a big burden for them, and they would never say that, of course, but I feel like I would be a burden as well. So I really just wanted to stay in my own house and take care of myself.
Why do you think they wouldn't let you stay in your home? Because you'd be lonely? Is that the only reason?
Well, that's what I think it was at first, but then, like I said, I have bad eyesight, and
Right.
maybe they were concerned about that, but I don't know. It's just, they never asked me.
What if they asked you, and what would you say if they asked if you wanted to go to a home?
I would say no,
Do you think that's why they didn't ask?
probably.
A little bit more about your experience in the home so far after this past month. Is there any issues you've encountered other than lunch and friends and feeling lonely as well?
Well, I think since I have, eyesight issues, so they do have a lot of programs, but a lot of it you need, you need to see things, and so it's hard. Well, they have a lot of programs and stuff, and that's great, but you have to be able to see some of them, like if there's a performance or a movie, and sure you can hear it and everything, but that's not great for me. But I think there are some staff members who maybe shouldn't be working there.
Could you tell me some more about that?
Well, I've encountered some of the aides, I think that's what they call them,
Right.
that they're not very patient, and they can be very like snippy and just rude.
Does it make you uncomfortable when they act that way towards you?
Very uncomfortable.
Do you think that might have something to do with why you're not liking the home?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Do you think that if your kids were to move you to a different facility, that things would change possibly?
Well, I guess I never thought about that option, because I'm just really focused on not wanting to be at any of them, Just want to be in my own house, and, I had my own routine, and I had my friends in the neighborhood, and everything was fine. But I guess maybe that could be an option. I'm just worried about talking to my kids about it.
Why are you concerned with talking to your kids about it? Do you think that you'll upset them?
Well, maybe. I think they chose this one because it was closest for them, and I don't know if there are other places in the area that are close, or how expensive they are, or who's to say that the people there are going to be nicer to me than the people here are.
And about how far is this new home from your old home with your husband?
Well, it's about half an hour from my old home, and my kids live about the same distance, I guess.
And how often do your children visit?
They come maybe one of them comes once a week, and the other one they kind of rotate, I guess, because sometimes they'll come for lunch, or they'll come to take me out and go shopping, or to see my grandkids and stuff like that.
And how do you feel when they visit? Does it feel better?
Yeah, I like being around people that I know.
Do your friends often visit?
Not recently. They came when I first moved in, they would come and see how I was doing, and maybe come for a cup of tea, catch up, but not recently.
How does that make you feel that they no longer visit?
It makes me sad, I guess, because, I thought I had my old friends at least, and, maybe they don't, I don't know, out of sight, out of mind, maybe. Maybe they don't want to deal with, visiting me.
What makes you think that?
Well, I mean, some of them are older and, I don't know, maybe they come and they feel uncomfortable and see, my living situation, and maybe it makes them uncomfortable.
Do you think having them visit more often would help the situation?
I don't know, because they'd always have to go back home,
Does the home have any way that they can bring you to visit your friends to your old neighborhood?
Oh, I don't know, I never thought about that. I guess I could ask somebody.
What ways do you think you could get more involved?
Well, I mean, I could go to more activities, and maybe there's a way somebody could help me with them if I can't see. I really like word games, and they play a lot of word games. I guess it's to keep us, sharp. But
You know,
Sharp.
But you talking about more feelings, okay.
Right.
Keep it sharp.
Sharp. To keep me sharp, and so I mean, I guess I could ask if any accommodations could be made, because I would like to meet different people, since the friends I thought I made were not very nice to me.
Do you think you would feel better about the home if you were to make more new friends?
I think so. Maybe. I think it would make it easier to be there, since I'm kind of stuck there. But I guess it would be nice to have some people to talk to.
So you mentioned earlier that some of the staff is not exactly the nicest people. Is there someone there that has a better attitude that you could possibly connect with and share some of your ideas with?
Now that you mention it, there are a couple girls, and they sit at the desk, and they're just very nice, and they always say, "Hey, Ginny, how are you doing today?" And, I don't get into too many details, I don't know them, but they're so nice, and they're very helpful, and, if I ever, need help finding something, they're always more than willing to help me, and then they work in other places too. I think one of them is a dining server. Sometimes I have a tough time with faces, but I'm pretty sure. And she's always very friendly there too. And so, I mean, those girls are nice. Maybe I could get to know them better, and I don't know.
Would you feel comfortable sharing what's going on and with other staff members with these girls?
Maybe, but I don't know what they would do about it. I don't want to place any, responsibility on them to do something about it, but I guess it is a problem that has to be dealt with, and maybe there are other people who have the same problem. So, I don't know, I guess it's something I could do.
Okay, Ginny, well, I feel like we made a lot of progress today. How did you feel that the session went?
I think you're a nice person. You really listened to me, and I didn't know what to expect, because I thought that somebody, like I told you, somebody who wasn't my age wouldn't get it, and but I guess this was nice, talking to somebody.
I agree. I think we should continue this relationship and move forward.
I also agree.